After a long silence, Shaunie O'Neal is now answering the questions fans have been asking regarding the theories. At first look, her relationship with Pastor Keion Henderson appeared to be a dream come true. A wealthy and pious man, and a wedding straight out of a movie. But was it all really a show? Because behind the scenes, it wasn't as flawless as it seemed. Is Shaunie ready to finally accept reality? Let's start at the very beginning. Shaunie O'Neal has always been adept at maintaining her public image. From the moment she first came into the spotlight, she knew how to play the game properly. She was not only the ex-girlfriend of Shaquille O'Neal, but also a strong woman in her own right. As the founder of Basketball Wives, she solidified her place in the entertainment industry by turning the tumultuous world of NBA relationships into a must-watch TV show. She proved her independence by starting her own company and earning her own money. Following her highly publicized romance with Shaq, she fell in love once more, but this time she was with a man completely different from her ex-husband. Keion Henderson, a charismatic preacher noted for his powerful sermons and effective leadership, is about to arrive. But Henderson wasn't just any preacher. He had a large congregation and was the leader of one of Houston's most important churches. He looked to fit in well with Shaunie and was a pious man. Keion spoke passionately about religion, love, and dedication to let everyone know how much he loved his wife. Their love story played out like a movie. They clicked right away, and their passion quickly grew. Keion went above and beyond for Shaunie, showing her devotion and giving her beautiful presents. He stood on a magnificent beach in 2021 and proposed with a gorgeous 4.22-carat diamond ring. A year later, at a grandiose wedding in Anguilla, they exchanged vows. It was a very lovely ceremonial story. A stunning backdrop, candlelit aisles, and an abundance of flowers. It was the kind of wedding that could have been found in a romance novel, with loved ones present to celebrate what appeared to be the beginning of something truly wonderful. But as we all know, not everything that shines is gold. Although their relationship appeared to be perfect, issues quickly arose. Moreover, this was not your normal rumor about a famous marriage. Some of the rumors came from within the Christian community itself. Rumors about Keion's allegiance started to spread because of his massive fan base. Some suggested he had a wandering eye, while others whispered that some of the women in his flock were getting too near for comfort. Did the reports have any basis in reality? Or were they merely rumors? Upon first hearing these charges, Shaunie paid little heed to them. She remained by Keion's side, ignoring the criticism. She was used to dealing with attention from the public, especially when she was married to Shaq. By keeping her attention on their relationship, she demonstrated that she wasn't concerned. But fans? They weren't entirely certain. They noticed minor shifts in her conduct on social media. She initially posted a lot of images of Keion along with passionate remarks, adorable love moments, and emotional sentiments of gratitude. But then things started to change. The couple's posts became less frequent, and she stopped leaving comments on his pictures as often. Then came the mysterious texts and conversations about introspection, personal development, and prioritizing oneself. Fans immediately started to wonder if Shaunie was hinting that things weren't as picture-perfect as they seemed. Then came the actual turning point, an event that made it impossible for her to ignore the murmurs any longer. For years, Shaunie told herself that the rumors were just that, rumors, and chose to ignore them. But every narrative like this has a tipping point, a moment when everything shifts. And Shaunie experienced that moment in a manner she had never expected. Was there a leak of the message? Is a reliable friend finally speaking the truth? Or had she personally witnessed it? Sources claim that something important fell into her lap and made it impossible for her to ignore it further, albeit the precise nature of the incident is unknown. Perhaps the SMS exchange was inappropriate. Maybe someone called late at night with unquestionable evidence. Or perhaps Keion made a mistake that was so clear that it could not be questioned. Whatever it was, it hit her hard. The realization must have been devastating. Imagine feeling as though you had finally found your tranquility, only to have it abruptly torn away. But Shaunie was no typical woman. She had already had a heartbreak that was widely reported. The last thing she wanted was to relive that nightmare. This time, though, The media were not highlighting her misery. Her own reality made her view things for what they truly were. The real battle began behind closed doors, but she remained calm in public. The restless nights, the secret cries, and the crushing weight of knowing that the guy she had trusted could not have been who she believed him to be were all part of this, besides her. As a preacher, Keion was a figure that many people admired. The revelation would shock not just her but his entire flock as well. And just when she thought that things couldn't get much worse, reality hit her even harder. Maybe Shaunie tried to figure out what was going on at first. Maybe she convinced herself it could still be saved. But there's only so much one can overlook. After a while, it was hard to deny the obvious. The more she looked, the more she found. More exchanges, more inconsistencies, more events that made her question everything. Which is the worst? Outsiders weren't the only ones fueling her doubts. Her family and closest friends started to hint that maybe, just maybe, she may stop thinking the worst of him. Everyone experiences that one crucial time. The one you instinctively know. Things will never be the same again. Maybe it was when she finally turned to face Keion and saw how he responded, or maybe it was when she realized that once trust is broken, it doesn't just magically return. As she looked in the mirror, she might have asked herself, is this really what I deserve? That put a stop to it. She knew it was time to let go of a fairy tale that was no longer there. What did Shaunie do when she finally reached her breaking point? Did she approach Keion directly? If she did, how was that conversation? The pivotal moment occurred when Shaunie made the decision to address Keion directly. She wasn't the type to disregard things, especially when her heart was on the line. Insiders said it was a contentious conversation. He wasn't approached by Shaunie with baseless accusations. She was carrying the truth. She had seen the proof, and there was no denying it. As far as we can tell, she asked direct questions. How about Keion? At first he didn't say much, but as the discussion progressed, the shortcomings were revealed. It was not Shaunie's intention to be apologized to. It was about hearing the truth, no matter how terrible it was. Did she choose to protect their relationship and remain with him? Or did she finally make the decision to go? According to others familiar with the matter, Shaunie disliked dragging things out. She made up her mind. It went beyond simply protecting her family. The goal was to protect her honor. She didn't give Keion an ultimatum. Instead, she took control of her own fate. She even investigated her legal options, such as divorce, separation, and other legal options, according to some reports. There's no question of it. Shaunie refused to let this betrayal define who she was. She refused to allow him any more authority over her life. Despite her challenging journey, it is remarkable how she was able to transform her despair into strength. After years of being in the spotlight and going through highs and lows, this was the moment when she finally took charge. She is currently teaching others by drawing on her experiences. Admirers and followers have always been inspired by Shaunie's bravery, and she has continued to show them what true endurance looks like. Instead of letting the grief consume her, she is using her voice to support others who might be experiencing same challenges. To clarify, Shaunie did not just bounce back from this. She came back stronger than ever. She is still running her enterprises, doing well at her job, and living life to the fullest. She's proving that no setback is too big when you don't allow it to define who you are. Right now, the most important question on everyone's mind is, where is Shaunie now? Has she officially moved on, or is there anything left to salvage in her marriage? Without a doubt, Shaunie has changed since the beginning of this. Her work, her children, and her personal growth are her top priority right now. In recent interviews, she has been open about the lessons she has learned and how this path has taught her more about herself than she could have ever imagined. Has she completely forgotten about Keion? The answer seems to be in the affirmative. She has been spotted prioritizing herself, having fun without him, and reassuring her followers that self-love is the greatest kind of love. For them, she has a simple message. Never be content. Acknowledge your worth. Put your happiness first at all times. Fans have been vocal in their support, to put it nicely. Someone claimed Shaunie deserved better. A happy existence does not start with lies. I knew something was wrong when she stopped posting about him, said another commenter. Women know exactly when to leave. According to a third, these so-called men of God are occasionally the largest con artists. I'm happy that Shaunie decided for herself. Whatever one's position on the details, one thing is for sure. The effects of Shaunie's story have been noticeable. She initiated an important conversation on loyalty, trust, and the value of always putting oneself first. Her path is not just about betrayal. It's about regaining her power, about being able to persevere when things don't go according to plan. Viewers are reminded by her story that often the hardest decisions lead to the greatest freedom. Will Keion contribute as well? We'll find out in time. But one thing is certain, Shaunie O'Neal isn't the type to remain silent. Her next move will surely make headlines. We'll be watching, too.